Hi, I'm Cobra. I want to share a little bit with you about some of my interactions with my friend who has departed. His name is Heyu Kelley. Um, I met Heyu in '09 or 2010 in January, I believe, in one of those years at an event in Michigan called the Christmas Tree Burn. A friend of mine, Shirley, hosted an event at that time where some Chicago burners would gather up Christmas trees, old Christmas trees after Christmas. I don't know if they'd trolled alleys or what, but they'd stuff them all in a big box truck, drive them out to Michigan, build a great big effigy, and it was a fun time. The one time that I was there, and I was there in this bus. This bus is actually where I met Heyu Kelley. It's a bus I live in. And the bus was there. We were going to give out a gift of hot chocolate because it was pretty darn cold that night, if I remember right. We were going to give out hot chocolate to any and all that wanted it. And so we're giving it out, and then this gentleman sticks his head in the front door of the bus and, hey, permission to come aboard, that kind of thing. Eccentric, older dude, and got purple going on in his beard and the hat and all this stuff. And so we're talking. This is my first burn was in '08, and I had a lot of people yet to meet in the Chicago burner community. And this is my first interaction with Heyu. And we're talking about the bus, we're talking about Burning Man, and this and that, and it's like, wow, I'm thinking, wow, this is a guy I would like to continue to be in touch with. And so I'm thinking, what can I do to, oh, I know, I've got a gift. I'm going to gift this guy. When I was at Burning Man that year, I was gifted several of these great little patches, these little round patches. It's a Burning Man Ski Patrol. They're hilarious. That's like, I'm going to gift this one of these patches, one of my last ones, to this dude. And so I'm like, he's like, all right, well, we're sort of partying. I'm like, hey, hold on, man, I got something for you. So I pull out this little patch. I'm like, here you go. Here's this little patch. And he looks at me. He's like, I made those. I'm like, sure you did. Here, just go ahead and take it. He's like, no, I designed those and I had them made. And he, out of his pocket, he pulls out like 10 of them. He goes, here, you have these. You give them away. I'm like, oh, jeez. So here, the way I met Heyu Kelley was on my bus, giving him the gift of something that he was famous basically for making and distributing out and giving out over the years. So that's how I met Heyu. And so over the years, I became closer to him, and as I had hoped when we initially had met, and he was a very giving man, always giving in such a way that others would be enriched by his gifts. Everything, maybe not every single thing, but most things that this man did, as far as I could tell, were like the original motivation was to enrich their lives, and that was a beautiful thing for me. And over the years, he gifted me much. Like I mentioned, I lived in the bus. I just moved into it at that point in time, I believe. I was very newly living in it. And so coming back to Chicago in the summer times, can't winter in Chicago in a bus like this. So I would winter elsewhere where it was warmer. And so then in the summer times I'd come back, and over the years it would get more and more difficult to exist in Chicago living in a bus. And Heyu was instrumental in making that easier for me, and in allowing me to camp out at the reserve, or I mean, in just a hundred ways, and I would tell him how much I appreciated his generosity. Just very generous, and I'm a very generous man. And so to my story. I've got a story about Heyu. It's a story about him basically cheating death, or cheating great bodily harm. One of these years, I don't know, it must have been 4 years ago, maybe, probably 4 years. In 2018-ish, I'm basically living in the reserve, in the bus, after Burning Man. There's always like prep and people to see and whatnot that needs to happen prior to heading south for the winter. And Heyu was gracious enough to allow me to park the bus in the reserve, and to use the workshop in the basement and that sort of thing. And so Heyu was renovating one of the rooms in the basement to rent it out, and there was a welding table in this room, and I was using the welding table. I was making a solar panel rack for the bus here, and so Heyu was on a scaffolding. He was pretty high up there. He was working, I think he was drywalling the ceiling. He was putting drywall up on the ceiling. And so he's doing his thing on one side of the room. I'm sort of like screwing around with the welder on the other side of the room. And my welding helmet's down. I'm looking down. I'm just about to lay a bead of weld down on this project, and Heyu starts yelling. I hear him yelling, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa," just over and over and over, "Whoa, whoa, whoa," like that, really loud. And I think the first thing I'm thinking of is I start a fire. There's all kinds of stuff around in the room and sparks flying, whatever. I don't know. Maybe I lit something on fire. I flip up the helmet and I look around. I don't see a fire. I look up at him to see what is he. What's the emergency? Why? What did I do? Basically, is what I'm thinking. And there's Heyu Kelley on the top layer of the scaffolding, on all fours, and the scaffolding is tipping over like this. Whoa, 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 whoa! And the whole time he's yelling, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa!" And with zero thought, with zero anything, I run around the table, weaving between all the stuff that was on the floor, reach up, grab the scaffolding, and I'm under it, and I barely push the scaffolding up. I have a kitty. Kitty. I barely push the scaffolding up to the point where, not where it's all the way up, but there's this, when something starts to tip over and it kind of, you can balance it at this one particular angle. That's where I was. He was on the top, like way above my head. I'm reaching totally all the way up, and holding the scaffolding, and now it's quiet. He stopped yelling the whoa, 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 and everything's. And he says, "Can you push it all the way up?" And I'm like, I'm practically on my tiptoes, and I'm holding on to this pipe, and I can't move. I'm like, "Dude, no," and I can't see really. I've got this welding helmet, and then I'm holding up, but He scrambled down that thing so fast. I can't even, so fast. He's like down, and I didn't think I'd be able to like hold it up with the weight shifting and whatnot, but I did. And then then we pushed it up the rest of the way. Well, what had happened is the concrete floor was so uneven that one of the wheels on the scaffolding, these wheels are like a foot tall, and it had dropped and fallen out. And so then there's only 3 wheels when there should have been 4, and the thing tipped over when he was on it. So he's like, "Wow, thanks, man." I'm like, "I'm glad I was here," and we never spoke of it. This is basically the first time I'm telling this story. I might have mentioned it once or twice, like to my wife or something, but um, we never, Heyu and I never spoke of this again. I never heard him mention it to anybody. I never, you know, um, and so the why I'm choosing to tell this story is that Heyu Kelley, as I mentioned before, to me he was he's a generous and giving man, and this is an instance where his generosity and his willingness to help and to enrich the lives of others, that generosity like came back full circle to actually save him. Maybe he wouldn't have died. We don't know. I mean, who knows, right? But I at least saved him from great bodily harm. I'm sure of it. He was about to like face plant into concrete from at least 8 feet up, you know. So, and then no, that would have happened, and he would have been alone, and who knows how long it would have been until, he would have, someone would have come down looking for him or whatever. And so the point is that if he were not as generous and as giving as he was, I would not have been there to help him in that moment when he needed it. And that's a very lovely lesson for me to carry with on that from that incident, and I wanted to share that. His generosity is, and his willingness to give is something that I've tried to emulate in my life as best I can. Heyu Kelley, miss you, love you, and I hope to see you someday at a great big burn in the sky someplace.